Welcome to the College of Social Work at the University of South Carolina. My name is Brant Cagle, and I'm a clinical associate professor in the College of Social Work, and I'm also the undergraduate program coordinator. I've been teaching at the college level for 30 years, and I have social work practice experience in nonprofit work, child welfare as a foster care worker, mental health as a therapist with runaway adolescents and their families, and I had a private practice. I've taught BSW and MSW students in South Carolina since 2003. Currently, I teach direct practice, so working with individuals, families, and groups, and I teach the undergraduate capstone class. In the College of Social Work, we are accredited by the Council on Social Work Education, which is really important. In the U.S., CSWE accredits all social work programs at the undergraduate and graduate levels. And you want to make sure that you attend an accredited program so that you can attain the kind of career that you want. And also, if you want to go on into graduate school, you'll need to have an accredited degree from an undergraduate program. We are committed to providing you with career preparedness, and part of that is an internship, which we call field placement. So for part of your time with us as a social work major, you'll be working in the field in a community setting alongside professional social workers. Also, something important to recognize is that with the BSW degree, you can do the Masters of Social Work degree, the MSW, in 1 year's time, whereas without a BSW, it would take a minimum of 2 years full time. There are many careers that one can do as a social worker. You see a range of them here on this slide. So social workers work in schools, we work in social service agencies, in criminal justice and corrections kinds of settings. Many social workers are clinical practitioners. This requires the graduate degree and licensure. We'll talk more about that. There are lots of social workers in healthcare settings beyond clinical or mental health practice. Also in occupational settings, community organizations, so at the neighborhood or community level, there are many social workers. Social workers work with older adults and with children in child welfare settings. In research and education, you'll find social workers. And there's also a lot of opportunity in international social work. In the undergraduate program, we call what we do generalist practice. And this basically means that you're taught a range of skills that are applicable in a lot of different kinds of settings, whether you're working with an individual or a family or a small group or a neighborhood or community or within an organization. So we focus on transferable skills like engagement, assessment, intervention, and evaluation. We would conduct those same kinds of skills no matter the client system that we were engaged with, whether it be an individual or a neighborhood, for example. Social workers connect client systems to resource systems, and we provide direct services as well. In social work, you'll hear us refer to levels of practice, micro, meso, macro. Basically, micro is working directly with individuals and families. Meso would be in smaller group settings or in programs, program development. Macro is in larger neighborhood or community or organizational kinds of settings focused on setting policy, for example. Some of our field placements or internships for BSW students currently would include working with United Way, working in homelessness services, working in social services in child or adult protective services, for example. And there's just so many emerging and unique opportunities in social work. Some of them might include being focused on environmental issues and sustainability. Social workers are engaged with that. Or there are a lot of opportunities recently in terms of the connections between social work and animals, like veterinary social work practice, where social workers work with clients of veterinarians in making hard decisions sometimes and supporting those clients, but also working with the veterinary staff on burnout or compassion fatigue, for example. In the Bachelor of Social Work, you'll have a focus on learning more about curriculum, field education, licensure preparation, moving through your program, and then there's also the social work minor. You can declare your major in social work at any time, and once you do, you would be considered a BSW student. In your freshman and sophomore years, the curriculum is more broad-based, and then in your junior and senior years, you would move into a very specific social work sequence of classes. You would have an internship, and you would have a supportive field seminar to support you in that internship. Currently, that begins in the spring of the junior year, and then you stay in that same field placement throughout your senior year, working in the community. You're still taking a few classes, and one of those classes is a supportive seminar for when you're in internship. Doing the BSW degree prepares you for licensure at the undergraduate or BSW level, and if you go on into an MSW program, you would have an opening for even more opportunities for licensure. But we are a professional degree program and part of a preparation for licensure moving forward. As I mentioned, you'll go through freshman, sophomore, junior, senior years. So in your first 2 years, you would take a couple of social work classes and some electives in social work. But then as you get into junior and senior year or upper division, you would focus intently on your social work courses. And we do have minors, so you would take Social Work 201 and 222, which are introductory courses, and then 12 hours of electives in social work for a minor in social work. As I mentioned, the BSW prepares you for the Master of Social Work degree. And if you have a BSW, you could earn your MSW in 1 full-time year of study, whereas someone without a BSW, it would take them at least 2 years of full-time study. Many people are interested in clinical practice, or another word for that would be working in mental health or behavioral health, so providing counseling or therapy services as a licensed practitioner. In order to do that, you would need your MSW, plus then you would work for 2 years post MSW with a supervisor who is licensed to earn your own license to provide clinical practice or mental behavioral health. So it's important to recognize that if you want to provide therapy, you do need that graduate degree and licensure on top of that to be able to do that. But if that's a goal, the BSW is a step toward that because, again, it would cut down the time in your graduate program if you already had the BSW. So your curriculum on the right side here, you'll see about half of your curriculum you want to complete in your freshman and sophomore years. That's your Carolina core classes like English and other liberal arts. There's college required coursework that builds on that liberal arts foundation, some electives there. And then in your junior and senior year on the left, you move into your major coursework. So the last 60 credit hours is your junior and senior year, and that's where you're going through the core of the social work curriculum as a cohort. That's also where you do your internship beginning in your junior year and throughout your senior year. And your internship counts as part of your coursework. So again, here it shows us in freshman and sophomore years, you would want to make sure to take Social Work 201, which is Intro to Social Work, and 222, which is a class that gives you a lot of context about policy in the United States to kind of understand where we are and how we got here. That context is really important. So you would take those 2 courses in freshman and sophomore year, and then you would move into junior and senior year where you focus on the core social work curriculum, where you have courses in theory that helps you understand social work practice with individuals, families, small groups, communities, and organizations, social work research, social work policy, social welfare policy, and then it's required that you do 3 social work electives and your field placement or internship. So as I've said, internship is also called field education, and this is where BSW students serve in internships in community partner agencies alongside professional social workers. There are a range of agencies where you could be placed as an intern, and we use the matching process where you have an interview and you talk with us about where you would like to be, and we match you in the community. You talk with them and they talk with you, and if it's a good fit, then that's where you would be. So there are lots of different opportunities in the community, including social service settings, community development settings, mental health settings, criminal justice settings, working with older adults, families, hospice or end-of-life care, medical social work, working with specific populations like the LGBTQI population, military social work, occupational work, program evaluation focus, and school social work settings. And this isn't even all of them, but there's a wide range of different types of internship possibilities. Wanted to mention a little bit about ways you can get involved when you're in the BSW program. We have Phi Alpha, which is the Social Work Honor Society for graduate students and undergraduate students. We have an active undergraduate social work student association where social work students, BSW students, serve in leadership roles, do community service projects and other kinds of connecting activities. And also students serve on faculty and staff committees, including the Undergraduate Program Committee, which sets policy and procedures for our BSW program, and the College of Social Work's Diversity and Inclusion Committee. So lots of examples of ways to get involved in your time in the College of Social Work. Also just wanted to mention the opportunity of living and learning communities. There's several on campus, but if you were to join an LLC, some of the benefits include community gatherings, working together as a community, having direct contact with resident mentors, academic supports, including study groups and other kinds of activities. Some examples of LLCs on campus include Preston, Green Quad, or Galen. So you may want to look at housing if you're interested in living in an LLC on campus. Another opportunity for students is study abroad. And we've had several social work students who do study abroad in various places around the world. In social work, you want to make sure that you were to do this before your junior year when you enter those core classes. So most social work students would plan for study abroad in their sophomore year. Got a couple of student spotlights here. Ben is a rising senior BSW student. He says the best part of being a social work student is that it's a big enough program to provide plenty of resources and opportunities for you to advance your learning, but small enough that you're able to build meaningful connections with faculty, staff, and other students. Tamaya is also a rising senior. On the first day of my field education at Habitat for Humanity, one of the directors drove me around Columbia to see the homes they're building for clients. I even helped paint the porch. My field placement helps me better understand my classroom learning because I'm now seeing examples in real world settings. And Brianna Neely, who is a graduate of the BSW program, and she's now a graduate student doing her MSW at U of SC. I was impressed with the amount of hands-on experience I gained as an intern. Creating and implementing projects made me feel as if I were an employee. I also gained one-on-one contact experience, which I valued the most. There's several scholarships. If you're interested in scholarships or fellowship information, here are some links. So there are university opportunities. Also, the Council on Social Work Education, which I mentioned, which accredits social work education programs around the country. And also the National Association of Social Workers, which is our national membership organization for social workers, has some scholarships as well. So lots of opportunities you may want to check out. So this has just been a brief overview of social work at the University of South Carolina, and I'd love for you to follow up with any questions. Again, I'm Brent Cagle. Here's my contact information. Also, Kaylee Rogers is someone who you would meet quickly if you became a BSW student. She's our undergraduate academic advisor, and here's her contact information. Another benefit that we have is that once you declare social work as a major, you have the same advisor throughout your program. So it could be all the way from freshman to senior year, 4 years, that you'd be working with Kaylee. So thanks for viewing and listening to this introduction. I hope you have a great day.